one. NLA. Nyame ayadoma NLA yeseti ye ne de mrama wo mo amra no e guide adwuma e wo se wo mo eye na wo mo art na wo de ye adwuma no yesi baby session 2 no oka session 2 anu asa subsection 3 aha mra no de ka wo ho ene say omo sika bi say sika no wo so omo hwe no omo de kwaboa omo ye omo mental problem tie bia psychiatric hospital ni ade and the aged tie bia sika nko metimi dia ma lip ana e bia metimi aboaboa nkokora ne mrewa no na if orphanage homes ni nyina e were specific and omo boss na say sika no omo che ye na say chief of staff office ono onya 350,000 and they say attorney general so organize a press conference and seminars 570,000 5.7 billion and Gabi Ochida kunya mu 250 asamoja nya bi kwakwanyi do honya bi D Black nya bi wan po bi Richard Ahiagba ono so enya bi omo nya bi do so and a presidential diary eno so ye de bi ko print ye the abalo no.
Yeah, I think you see it's quite uncomfortable say on daily basis you ba betra ha na ye ka krono amam for boy. I'm sure some more tie yem kra no they are tired. They are sick and tired because at this point, you know, the more party the action our government as spring emotion to arrest these criminals or mu yusu nyansa kwan and am catch nipa no mo krono no say ko mu nim nyansa kra de anka nya problem. Obi a woni nyansa no say we are na ya and that is the problem. You see now no ye di nkroma day ye nyina ye celebrate ye kan nkroma sem but now no na me kan ba bi say open the most consequential president in the history of this country Kwame Nkrumah open president and the team ye den you know Rollins and come anywhere close and now person what see akofa Kwame Nkrumah books na kan wo the choice of words the tone na said na ositiye he is the only president to ultimately had a political opponent him children ne to prison jebi dan kwanye prison no wu at the prison no cholete bra na pa Kwame Nkrumah cha wamfi no o mane dam wu ye because at the time, you know, the political environment was so hostile. Say he is the only president I yes suma bomb corner so almost bare 4 times. So the people he was dealing with, you know, prove say they had criminal tendencies. You cannot be a sheep and walk through a wolf pack and survive. For you to survive, you know, you need to also behave like a wolf. Yeah. Nipana wacho mwesi behaving say so you cannot be president and leader and be working so me pass sa mels there no be no pass say nipa no so you criminal tell him say you are a double criminal also a dangerous actually say we na wo to me also no we are double dangerous and that is how you need to behave in this environment here you mean you only be moderate considerate very way when you are dealing with intelligent group of people or more very reasonable we can reason but when some people are jump over Ghanaians and they think that Omodo can use any nefarious tactics just to get their way you need to tell them that also no you can employ same and that is exactly the playbook and Kwame Nkrumah used at the time that is why he was able to jail his political opponent as if without recourse to law anything because he realized oja omo the course of action also developing these people will derail so he had to imprison them because omo de bomb sha crack to answer say fakoju samra ni friend say Blackstar House omo de Kwame Nkrumah be sia bobo group na omo de bomb akọ na ato na omo bo ntwene ni nyina waku omu nyina Kwame Nkrumah survive on 3 occasions. And the time no demanded say the president at the time has to be also hostile and very aggressive and that is a leadership that is what make us a leadership wa ho yem trombu abo bi so akokan na wa behave sa leadership is an art you look at the prevailing circumstances you adjust and you know you also position yourself sabaya ubetime system na flow just to maintain a certain equilibrium and that is what we need to behave we've got into an era. There has been cases of corruption, stealing, financial malfeasances, misapplication of funds, raw stealing. Because this NLA, as one area, generates a lot of money. but that money no pay the actor ya try no say sika no say mfa so no ba you make sure say specific individuals say obi oyo hiani obi ya de obedi onya kaya ye ni a wa akra keto akra se na chi a osomboto nam kumase or the twa kwan be 1 kilometer na ya man 5 cedi. These are the vulnerable people that this money should be targeting na yemfa mo say dan bi kura na say anything trade bi kura na be kire mo yemfa nkire mo kwabranet na ho na nipa na odi sansemuro we ni no at parliament na o MP. Yes. Kroma oti media form wo you know your monam for because he was sorting everybody. Young man na obese onya adwuma no wanya sika free. He was just paying media people to be on them bia honorable across the political divide obi aso no so. Because the money na onya no sansemuro we no mo didi. Agencies in Nasefo already no money anywhere close to the mandate as stipulated in law. They were the very people who was doling our money to. And this money, who he was not even auditing them to know. So, Sikara Media Omo de ye, the also Omo de ye. Asamoah.
Yeah.
Udi Sika kwa command so on because this is a guy who has been doing charity.
Yeah.
And I will not be surprised say Sika we could be a new Asamoah.
Yes. You crowd and do the whole.
Because Asamoah 50,000 Ghana cedi a day. This is a gentleman on not to the bottom Sika Kusi Stadium. Our your fans saying Ama Accra Academy. Or no 50,000, you know. Overcome grand and you know correct. So imagine them. Obia ya bo DBR, brother you are not.
Yeah.
It could happen say Sika no come ho. And some other individuals are connected to power. These are individuals are within the stipulation of the law. No, they are not supposed to even get 1 cedi, but they were giving this money to them. Be black or not, born in Sika or the Sasika way. So the question is, what is the motivation? Was it some kind of an influencing people to come to our? Just it's mind-boggling. You can never use any proper words to explain what has happened. The whole thing is an act of financial misapplication, and I'm telling you, this is a man for jail for willfully causing financial loss to the state. These people have foolishly caused financial loss to the state, and they must be prosecuted. And that is the only explanation. So, Ninina Koba, if we read the Attorney General, I think that the Attorney General department is too limited. Because 2 people cannot be dealing, even though he has workers in Nasifo. I think that we need to decentralize the Attorney General office. Every region should have a bigger officer, staffing with people or more enough insight into law. At every region, I think that the prosecution must start and should be spontaneous. The investigation must be going on at the same time at the regional level. So the Ghana for we see the seriousness because these crimes, I say no anger no any NPP should be able. And any corruption be able to uncover in the NPP government. Abufono is not going to the NPP government. The question is, what are you doing? And for state as a private entity is doing his job by unearthing some of these things. It is up to you as an AG to also act. Because some of these things, and your for state can answer the back. Because the state machinery, you have the resources.
Exactly
the state should be the one leading this particular thing. And the for state and farmer. But over the years, we have been reactionary. This old private person could transfer an investigation. But and some state now, we are seeking in about acting. Ebasa, you are advertising incompetence, and answer the willingness is not on your part. The state should be the lead crusader, leading charge on netting some of these criminal dealings. I also because crime are there. You don't cover it and say, oh, investigation. No, a public interest case. Whatever happens, inform the people. Let them know. Say this person on this day did this, and near man a contravening established rules of engagement. You have to be a metanaka say in governance. And as in a state, there are certain things you cannot do, and there are 2. You cannot show weakness, you cannot show mercy. We a state, now the Sanema way nama, that state is done. Because people will hide behind your mercy card and the fact say, oh, you pity and forgive us, and they will be doing nasty stuff because human beings in our core way, we are very dangerous. Whenever you are in your room alone, the things you do will tell you who you are, not what you get out to do. So we are all dangerous. And always, there must be man say, the consequences that await you anyway. Now, man for the one sababo mine sikam, other jurisdiction like Asia side of her. Adio biam pesobaya on a life, Mr. Ordinance sababo mine sikam. Because ebegu animase, agu family animase, and your entire generation, you will never come anywhere close to power. but these dangerous criminals are still hovering, telling people say, "And power never sana ye sign back." They don't care about the atrocity that they have committed. And the fact that they should go to jail. He says, "A murder says that power is transcendent. Then to be a murder Dania, you have see a bar over here. When you have committed these crimes and you should go to jail, because they know say system no are important.
Yeah.
You back kasama media for kasa no kre movie no cry. Brother kakra wu hu ye TV sukura bi because it's better so kwakwa tena ba bia dwena ho. Because the system prove it so important that these people will sit somewhere and laugh at you say hey and then with the TV sukura kasa obi adwene say come na do ntina wo kasa.
Yeah.
That is a sick mentality people have about this whole politics. So I think the state must be very radical, must be very serious in pursuing these criminals. Because we are sick and tired of hearing some of these cases on daily basis. You understand?
Yeah.
We need to take the fight to them and tell them, state is not willing to compromise. State ain't ready to let some of these things go. Any slightest will be because we are act of will be investigated. Now, you can't. Scholarship Secretariat. Abayo can say me or sonenam. Or no one can engage in the same act of financial misappropriation. The fans saying cry or more almost national service. And the crimes are often back for crimes. Ubet me abo no bonia or munku do krumano. Now politics, you know. Ya kwaje power we ne de be ye. Ya kwaje power say de be sum nipa da bia me ka say kwame nkroma amanfo bo ni dey duru ni dey amanfo twen celebrate no. Ne dan do say ne osi wo East Legon. I dan do say ne makra no menya sure say ya fan say owia sika toto adan ma omo. But ne abẹ for politicians it is about money. Obi jina ba bi ka say o amedwene mo ho oboa. Odwene no ankasa ne family ne cronies home because obi anya to me they just want to satisfy people around them. They don't care about who has wit, who has intelligence, who has what, who would think. No. Ghana politics, that particular space then can it is about me, my friends and I. And I always keep telling people say you must be a fool to think say your friends say power no ya the nam for kwan na ye. Because we need to me every single brain under the country is under your disposal to use. And don't limit to those who will be singing hallelujah choruses. Oh yes, Amasa. Oh yes, boss. And that's for no man. Our minor will never grow, and it's the reason why we are here. And the Kufuado Mamu boy mamu phone in I depend on what channel winning in a say for the number for one and her in my kind of crash. Nobody. So we naked crowd will tell us now where you fair or how fair we cried been see that. Now also know what you did. No idea. No wouldn't say because Sanka neighbor and Hosobian can name who we are causing get me stop here. So the state cannot show weakness, cannot show say mean to me baby at any point in time people do some of these things and now Omar gets away with. So we will thank your friend saying for state for their investigation. The next step must come from the Attorney General. And I think say President Betia, the Attorney General office must be expanded. Now you make sure at the regional offices, we have offices there with staff. Documents people can look at it at the same time all the various regions. So the prosecution is starting, it will stop everywhere. Because after 2 years, Nasa criminals will be jail. This government will get dirty. And just mark my words, it will get dirty.
Abasolo,